Hi there. Today we're going to talk about the difference between traditional bonsai and stimulant bonsai. The main difference between these two is the growth speed. Traditional bonsai grows very slowly and can take years, even decades, to achieve the final shape. This is because the shaping process happens naturally and by using some techniques like defoliation and pruning. We just guide the tree and let the tree do the rest of the job. You can get nice results from this approach. However, it takes too much time and patience. And most importantly, this process is not suitable for mass production. You cannot expect to get good-looking trees with this approach if you want to grow more than one tree. For example, let's take a look at this Chinese elm bonsai that was grown by a well-known artist. Even though the tree looks great and has a really nice shape, we have to accept the fact that it will never look like a fully grown tree. And the tree needs a lot of care and maintenance to keep its shape and size. Also, we need to consider how many decades you need to wait to get a nice result from this tree. If you want to make money out of your bonsai trees, you need to think about the return on investment. You may say that bonsai is not about making money, but it is more about the art form and enjoyment of the hobby. I agree with that, but even for the people who are growing bonsai only for enjoyment, they also need to be aware of the growth speed of their trees. Imagine you planted a tree 20 years ago and you take care of it all this time. Then suddenly, after 20 years, you realize that the tree does not look like a mature tree. It just looks like a bonsai. In this case, you will be disappointed. On the other hand, stimulant bonsai can grow very fast and can be shaped quickly. That is why it is possible to grow many trees at the same time and get good-looking trees in a short period of time. With this approach, we don't need to wait for decades to get nice results. We can see the progress of our trees week by week. I know some people do not like this approach because it is not natural. However, it is not always necessary to grow completely natural trees. As long as the tree looks good, is healthy, and has a nice shape, that's all that matters. Some people say that you can only enjoy the tree if it is grown naturally. I disagree with that because it doesn't matter how the tree is grown. What matters is the final result. There are also a lot of people who don't have enough patience to wait for decades to get a nice tree. Fast-growing trees are the best choice for those people. Another advantage of the stimulant method is that it is more suitable for mass production. If you want to sell your trees online or in bonsai shops, you need to have plenty of good-looking trees to show off. That way you can make customers interested in buying your trees. For example, if you only have 2 or 3 trees and want to make money out of them, you need to wait until these trees become mature. In the meantime, you cannot earn any money. However, if you use the stimulant method, you can grow many young trees at the same time and make a profit. However, there is one disadvantage of this method. Some people might say that this is not an honest way of growing bonsai trees. In my opinion, it is up to you to decide what is honest and what is not. But there's no doubt that this method is very effective and can help us grow nice-looking bonsai trees easily. Now let me share one secret with you. Most bonsai growers are actually using the stimulant method without telling anyone. They do this because it is impossible to compete in the market if you use the traditional method. That is why almost all the trees you see on social media or in bonsai shops are stimulant bonsai. You may ask why famous artists use the stimulant method. The answer is simple. It is not possible to grow enough trees with the traditional method to meet market demands. However, they try to convince you that their trees are grown naturally. The reason is to keep their prices high. But the truth is that there is no price difference between naturally grown trees and stimulant trees. So next time you buy a tree, ask the seller how the tree was grown. And you will notice that most of them will tell you that the tree is grown naturally. But in reality, they're using the stimulant method. Another point I want to make is that it is possible to grow nice-looking trees with both methods. It means that it is possible to grow nice-looking trees both naturally and with the stimulant method. So it is not correct to say that stimulant bonsai can never look like a natural tree. I have seen many beautiful stimulant bonsai trees that were grown using the stimulant method, and I have also seen ugly traditional bonsai trees that were grown naturally. So the success of the shaping process depends on the grower's skill, not the method. In general, I believe that it is important to try both methods and choose the one that suits you best. Some people might prefer the slow and steady progress of traditional bonsai, while others might appreciate the quick results of stimulant bonsai. And I want to remind you that both approaches can lead to beautiful and satisfying outcomes. So don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for you. If you are into fast-growing bonsai trees, I recommend that you take a look at this video. Also, please do not forget to support the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.